Right. I am here with a good friend, Greg Morrison, who is a writer producer. You might know him best because of some of the work that he's already done that's familiar to you. In fact, in a couple of weeks, I want us to watch one of his films that he did, Faith Under Fire. I'll tell you more about that, of course, and he's going to give us a little bit of an insight. But he shared with me a couple of things related to his production work and what he's doing. And I'm going to ask him to just share a little bit of that with you.
Okay. Well, yeah, I got started just in church, just making movies for church things and the singles group when I started 20 years ago, and from there it grew into starting to make feature films. Now with my writing partner, Melissa, we write faith-based movies, and one of them that we got produced was Faith Under Fire with Gene Kane and Kevin Sorbo. And
Amazing.
we're really proud that we were able to make it.
Well, you were sharing with me at breakfast some of the hurdles that you've had to go through. So your life's been through a series of hurdles.
It has.
But it created a bit of an idea about where this film could be and your contribution to the film with the stories that have a faith component, which are likely your story, your writing's gone into that.
Yeah, very much so. So, I went through some difficult, challenging times and didn't know how to make sense of it. I went to go into counseling. I was praying. Went through a couple of years of trying to work out my faith. God, why did you do this to me? And maybe it wasn't all that always just that God was doing something to me, but maybe some things that I had earned for myself as well, right? Some struggles. But when it came time to write the movie, and we were writing about somebody else who had struggled in a totally different way, in the movie, he loses family members. Still, the questions about why these things happen, and why is God doing this come up. But then one of the things that I learned, everyone asks why. It's sort of the most common question. But that, I don't know if that's the answer. The question that God is asking us. Yeah. He's trying to tell us he's calling us to do things and how to behave and how to live for him. And so out of why, we have to answer, what should I do?
That's profound because a lot of people are asking that. They see the issues in their lives as an end of the road, and you saw it as a new beginning for you.
Sure.
Building upon those challenges. Now you're working on a new project. Maybe give us a quick sneak peek at that new project.
So it's called Godspeed. It's about a NASCAR driver who is ambitious but can't control his temper, and he gets fired from all the jobs he's at. And the only job he can work at is a race car team that really is more interested in developing, working with foster kids than they are with winning. And he finds a great struggle in this, but he connects with the foster kids and it begins to transform him. And eventually he has to make a choice. Is he going to prioritize his relationship with his foster child that has become very special in his life? Or is he going to prioritize racing?
Wow.
Yeah.
That, I think, would be great to get picked up by somebody who would be able to help get that launched, get that sponsored, or whatever the terminology might be. You can tell I'm not in the industry, but it's a joy to meet you and to be able to share this with my congregation and maybe a few of my friends about it, because I think what you have going in that is a marvelous story. And of course, you all know back at my church, right? My wife and I did foster care, and that's what makes this such a unique thing, very personal to me, right? As I think about it. Any thoughts that you would have for somebody who's kind of journeying, maybe a neighbor or two of ours, somebody who might be on a journey of faith, but they don't quite know what's next for them? What decisions do they need to make? What would you advise them on a journey walk?
Well, I mean, the first and most important things are, prayer and reading their Bible. I mean, if you're trying to figure out what a lot of people, they're asking, what's God's will for me? What's God's will for me? And I think it's important to pray and to ask that question. But God gives you his will in his word.
Yeah.
He tells us some real, very specific things about loving the Lord with all your heart and loving your neighbor.
That's awesome. Well, and that goes even to context of spiritual things. We should be good people anyway, right? But this gives us meaning for being a good person, a meaningful experience in our walk with the Lord, because he'll direct us.
Yeah.
He'll help us even sort out some of those things in our lives where it's not going quite according to plan, but maybe that's our plan, not God's plan, right?
Yeah, that's true.
We need to look to God's plan, and That's where reading the Bible and prayer come into context. When we talk about faith, we're not talking about a religious activity. We're talking about something more than that. You're a pastor, lay pastor you call yourself, but you're a pastor, home church, good group of people. How do you advise them? What are some of the tactics you've used in your congregation? You were mentioning a little bit about every week you ask them a question.
Well, we have a prompt, and one of the most common things, it's a small, when we have a home church, it's a small group. We meet, we do some worship, we also study the Bible, but in between we do sharing. And with my church, I ask them all the time, did you pray for somebody this week? Did you share the gospel with somebody this week? And what happened? And I hear just such tremendous stories of people who are able to do it so naturally. The waitress at the place where they eat, they say, is there something we can pray for you for?
Yeah.
Somebody, when they're checking out, they're waiting in line in Kroger, they turn around and they say, hey, is there anything I can pray for you for?
Yeah.
And people don't, when you come and you say, Jesus died for you, and that's an important part of the message. But when you open with that can put people on their back heel.
Yeah.
But when you open with, I'm a Christian and I just pray for people. If there's something I can pray for you, it opens doors.
Yeah, it does. And I love that because it's not an in-your-face experience.
Yeah.
It's the how can I help you or how can I pray for you? It seems like it's not threatening. And that's what I think people want. They don't want to be threatened or told to do something. Let the Holy Spirit guide. I mean, the Holy Spirit will, like our waitress this morning, even she responded to that with, thank you for that. Well, I wish you the best, and we'll be praying for you. This is a prompt for my people to pray for you. My people, my congregation, what a joy to serve them, and for your congregation for what you're doing. We'll continue to pray, and for this opportunity of this film coming out. And we're going to watch this film, Faith Under Fire. I think you'll see a lot of really what we talked about this morning in that film. So I want you to be there. Bring your friends. It's a great place for children to be a part of as well. There's dynamics of a firefighter. Those sort of things are part of it. So it'll be fun for the whole family. So thank you.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it.
This is great. Thank you. Appreciate you. This is fun. Did you ever feel like this